The Bilderberg Group. Few names conjure up as much mystery and speculation. You hear about it in hushed tones, a private forum where the world's most powerful elites gather. But what really happens behind those closed doors? Is it a shadow government secretly pulling the strings of global events? Or just a high-level networking event? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the most secretive meeting in the world. So what exactly is the Bilderberg Group? It's an annual invitation-only conference that started way back in 1954. The very first meeting was held at the Hotel de Bilderberg in Oosterbeek, Netherlands, and that's where the group gets its name. Every year since, around 130 to 150 influential figures from North America and Europe gather for a few days to discuss major global issues. The guest list is a who's who of power and influence, talking heads of state, prime ministers, royalty, CEOs of multinational corporations, top bankers, brilliant academics, and even the heads of major media outlets. Think people like Bill Gates, Henry Kissinger, Christine Lagarde, the King of the Netherlands, and the CEO of Google. The key thing to remember is that they all attend in a personal capacity, not as official representatives of their countries or companies. The idea is to create an environment where they can speak freely, away from the pressures of their official roles. The group was originally formed to foster dialogue between Europe and North America, promoting what they call Atlanticism. The founders, including Polish political advisor Joseph Retner and Prince Bernhard of the Netherlands, were worried about the rise of anti-Americanism in post-war Europe. They believed that by bringing together leaders from both sides of the Atlantic, they could prevent misunderstandings and strengthen the Western alliance against the perceived threat of communism. Over the decades, the scope of discussions has expanded to cover all sorts of global challenges, from economic policy and trade to technology and security. Now, let us talk about the rule that makes this meeting so unique and controversial: the Chatham House Rule. This is the cornerstone of every Bilderberg meeting. The rule is simple, yet profound. Participants are free to use the information they receive during the discussions, but they cannot reveal the identity or affiliation of the speaker, nor that of any other participant. So, you might hear a groundbreaking idea about the future of artificial intelligence, but you can never say, "The CEO of that tech giant said this." This rule is designed to encourage open and honest debate. The theory is that if people are worried about their words being reported in the media or tied to their official positions, they'll be more willing to share candid thoughts, test new ideas, and even challenge their own long-held beliefs. Because of this rule, there are no minutes taken, no official resolutions passed, and no votes held. There are no press conferences after the meetings, and no detailed policy statements are ever issued. The only public information comes from the Bilderberg Group's own website, which typically releases a list of participants and the main topics for discussion just before the meeting begins. This extreme level of secrecy is what fuels so much of the public's fascination and suspicion. While the organizers insist it's necessary for candid conversation, critics see it as a deliberate attempt to operate outside of democratic accountability. And this brings us to the heart of the controversy: global governance. Critics, including journalists, activists, and some politicians, argue that the Bilderberg meetings are fundamentally undemocratic. They see it as a place where a self-selected group of elites can coordinate their policies and set a global agenda without any public input or oversight. They worry that major decisions affecting billions of people in things like financial regulations, military interventions, or trade agreements are being shaped in these private conversations. The fact that media moguls attend but do unreport on what happens inside only adds to the suspicion that there is an agenda to control the public narrative. On the other hand, supporters and participants defend the secrecy. They argue that the Bilderberg meetings are not a decision-making body. Instead, they see it as an informal talking shop, a place for brainstorming and understanding different perspectives. They claim that the privacy afforded by the Chatham House Rule is essential for fostering a level of openness that would be impossible in a public forum. A prime minister could, for example, float a radical idea without causing a political firestorm back home. A CEO could discuss industry vulnerabilities without spooking the stock market. For them, it's not about making secret pacts. It's about gaining a deeper, more nuanced understanding of complex global issues. The debate really boils down to this: where do you draw the line between private discussion among leaders and a secret cabal that undermines public institutions. Naturally, where there's secrecy, conspiracy theories are sure to follow. The Bilderberg Group has become a central figure in some of the most enduring conspiracy theories of our time. The most famous of these is the idea that the group is the steering committee for a new world order, a secret plan to create a single, totalitarian world government. Proponents of this theory believe that Bilderberg attendees are handpicked to implement this agenda, manipulating national economies and political events to achieve their goals. Other theories claim the group was responsible for creating the European Union, selecting U.S. presidents, and even orchestrating global financial crises. And these claims are often sensational and rarely supported by concrete, verifiable evidence. Most journalists and historians who have studied the group conclude that while it is undoubtedly influential, it's not the all-powerful shadow government that conspiracy theorists make it out to be. The real influence is likely more subtle. It's not about giving orders, but about building consensus. When 100 of the world's most powerful people spend a weekend together and find they all agree on a particular issue that's shared, understanding can have a powerful ripple effect when they return to their respective roles in government, finance, and industry. The influence of these private conversations remains a legitimate topic of public debate, even without venturing into wild speculation. What are these powerful people actually talking about? The topics change every year to reflect the most pressing global challenges. Let's look at the agenda from the 2025 meeting, which was held in Stockholm, Sweden. Key topics included transatlantic relations, a perennial favorite focusing on the partnership between Europe and North America. Ukraine was a major point of discussion, likely covering the ongoing conflict and its geopolitical ramifications. The U.S. economy was on the table as its health affects the entire world. Then we have the big, forward-looking themes. Artificial intelligence was a huge one, along with its implications for deterrence and national security. They also discussed energy, geopolitics, and critical minerals, which are central to the green transition and technological competition. And finally, a topic that always gets attention: depopulation, two powerful demographic forces reshaping societies around the world. As you can see, these aren't trivial matters. They are the defining issues of our time, and the discussions at Bilderberg could very well shape how leaders approach them. So, we come back to our original question. Is the Bilderberg Group a harmless discussion club, or a highly influential force shaping our world in secret? The truth, as is often the case, probably lies somewhere in the middle. It's not a secret world government handing down orders, but it's also more than just an innocent chat over coffee. It is an unparalleled networking opportunity, and a forum where the global elite can align their thinking away from the public eye. Whether you see that as a pragmatic way to solve complex problems or a dangerous threat to democracy, one thing is certain: the Bilderberg Group remains one of the most fascinating and debated private forums on the planet. And I want to hear from you. What do you think? Is Bilderberg just a conversation club for the rich and powerful? Or is there something more going on? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you found this deep dive interesting, don't forget to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more content that explores the hidden corners of our world. Thanks for watching.